Now that the NBA season is over and the Warriors have been dethroned as NBA champions, I want to talk about the top players in the NBA this season. Now, I want to clarify that my picks for the best players in the NBA are my opinion only and not the end-all be-all. I also quickly want to mention what a man Klay Thompson is, because after tearing his ACL during Game 6 of the NBA Finals, he went back out there, drained 2 free throws, and was intent on continuing to play. The NBA playoffs have not been nice to the Warriors this season, and prayers up to KD and Klay Thompson, and shout out to Thinking Basketball for the Rangers idea.
Away it's stolen. Here's Middleton. Giannis trailing the lob. Giannis Antetokounmpo.
I want to start off with how I'm going to determine who the best player in the NBA is. My criteria will be mainly about the player's value and not skill or numbers, although they will be an important factor to consider. I will also be considering players' health in relation to this year because this is a list based off of the 2019 season. At number 10, I have to put Paul George. Paul George, before a shoulder injury, was playing at an extremely high level this year, averaging 28 points, 2.2 steals, 4.1 assists, and 8.2 rebounds per game. Paul George only missed 5 games this year, so his health isn't really a downfall. He's a shot creator that can also play alongside dominant ball handlers such as his teammate Russell Westbrook. Defensively, he was a candidate for Defensive Player of the Year because he reads passing lanes well and has excellent man-to-man defense from positions 1 to 4. For Paul George, I can see him being anywhere from the 10th best player in the league to maybe top 8, but I think he is most fitting at number 10 this year. At number 9, I have Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid averaged 27.5 points, 1.9 blocks, 13.6 rebounds, and 3.7 assists this year. Joel Embiid is a top 3 rim protector in the league and is a monster in the low post, a lost art in today's NBA. He can also draw fouls at a high level, but his shooting and passing ability limits his ability to stretch the floor. Joel Embiid missed 18 games this season and played on a bum knee in the playoffs, lowering him on my list. In the playoffs, whether it was due to his sickness or his bum knee, his numbers dropped off. He went down to 20.2 points per game, 10.5 rebounds per game, although his blocks did go up to 2.3 blocks per game. I can see Embiid anywhere from number 10 on this list to number 8 on this list. I can see an argument for Paul George's overall impact to put him above Embiid, but I can also see one for where Embiid's rim protection and low post moves get him up to number 8. At number 8, I have Nikola Jokic. Jokic averaged a career high 20.1 points, 10.8 rebounds, 7.8 assists, and 1.4 steals per game this year. Jokic, or the Joker, is an all-time passer at his position who can score and has decent three-point shooting at 30.7%. This allows for the spacing of the Nuggets offense. However, Jokic is not a great defender. He lacks rim protection and the ability to switch on pick and rolls. Jokic only missed 2 games this year and almost led his team to the Western Conference Finals this year. He elevated his performance in the playoffs to 25.1 points, 13 rebounds, and 8.4 assists per game. His three-point shooting in the playoffs even jumped up to nearly 40% on 4 attempts per game. I can see Jokic anywhere from 9 to number 7 this year. Embiid's defensive presence could be a solid argument, while Jokic's value as a passer could arguably jump him up to number 7. At number 7, I have LeBron James, and I know it sounds wrong, but let me explain. LeBron averaged 27.4 points, 8.5 rebounds, and 8.3 assists per game. LeBron is a great passer and an amazing scorer. He's an all-time great, but is now getting up there in age. LeBron had some questionable defense this year and is now prone to injury due to his age. This year he missed a career high 27 games with a groin injury, and normally we would see LeBron in the playoffs elevating his play to another level, but this year he wasn't in the playoffs, so we weren't able to see his normal elevated play we have become so accustomed to. LeBron's free throw percentage this year was also the lowest of his career at 66% from the line. Having LeBron at number 7 seems disrespectful, but unfortunately, although LeBron's offensive game hasn't dropped off with his age, defense and injuries this year have made an impact. I could see LeBron at maybe 6 this year and could fall down to number 9 depending on an argument based on playoff performance and defensive importance. At number 6, I have James Harden. James Harden showed us another level of scoring this year. Harden averaged an insane 36.1 points per game, 7.5 assists, 6.6 rebounds, and 2 steals per game. Harden showed us this year that he has an amazing ability to score. However, I believe that his three-point ability is highly overrated. In his career, he has never shot above 39% from 3, and this past year, he shot 36.8% from 3. Harden only missed 4 games this season, so his health is a plus, and in the playoffs this year, Harden's scoring was still above 31 points per game, but his efficiency has always dipped in the playoffs. This year, his three-point shooting was only down 1.1% compared to other years where Harden's three-point percentage would dip below 30%, and his field goal percentage dropped around 3% this year during the playoffs. Harden's ISO style of play has consistently shown to be ineffective the further along he goes into the playoffs, making Harden not as valuable as other players. Harden scales anywhere from 5 to 8. At number 5, I have Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis' pre-finger injury was an absolute monster, averaging 29.3 points, 13.3 rebounds, 4.4 assists, 2.6 blocks, and 1.7 steals per game. On the year, he averaged 25.9 points, 12 rebounds, 3.9 assists, and 2.4 blocks per game. Davis is an elite rim protector and a great isolation scorer. Davis missed 26 games this year due to multiple injuries, including a broken finger, an injured shoulder, and a strained back. Anthony Davis missed the playoffs this year, but he's a generational talent that caused some drama this year with a trade request. Davis has the ability to grow into the best player in the NBA with his gifted physical traits, his ability to score, and his ability to be a switchable defender. Davis scales anywhere from 3 to 6. Harden's unprecedented ability to score could be a great argument, and Davis's physical traits and pure talent could boost him into the top 3. At number 4, I have Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is one of the more gifted scorers the league has ever seen. He is nearly a 7-foot shooter with the handles of a guard. This year, Kevin Durant averaged 26 points, 6.1 rebounds, and 5.9 assists on 52% from the field. Kevin Durant is an elite isolation scorer and a good man-to-man defender. Kevin Durant was relatively healthy this year, only missing 4 games during the regular season, but was out for nearly a month with a calf strain during the playoffs. And because Durant's most recent injury, his Achilles rupture, only affected 2 games in the 2019 season, I will not be giving KD a huge minus because of it. However, next year, his stock may take a drastic hit on this list. KD's playoffs before getting injured was on an absolute tear, averaging 32.3 points, 4.9 rebounds, and 4.5 assists on 51-43 shooting splits. Durant scales anywhere from a top 2 to a 5. Durant, despite his playoff injuries, will always be in the conversation for top 3 contention. At number 3, I have the 2019 Finals MVP Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard was on an absolute tear during the playoffs. He's an elite isolation scorer that can play off-ball, but his lack of good vision hurts his playmaking abilities. Kawhi is an extremely strong player and at times, for when his stamina allows, an elite on-ball defender. Kawhi averaged 26.6 points, 7.3 rebounds, 3.3 assists, and 1.8 steals this season. Kawhi missed a total of 22 games this season, knocking him down to number 3, but in the playoffs, Kawhi proved his dominance. During the playoffs, Kawhi averaged 30.5 points, 6.8 rebounds, 3.9 assists, and 1.7 blocks per game. He showed his ability to take over a game during crunch time, and his Finals MVP this season only proves his worth to a team. Kawhi scales from number 4 to 1. Durant is an all-time scorer, but Kawhi's playoff performance this season only proves his contention to be number 1. At number 2, I have probably the 2019 regular season MVP, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis is an absolute freak of nature, averaging 27.7 points, 12.5 rebounds, 5.9 assists, 1.3 steals, and 1.5 blocks this season on a crazy 74% efficiency at the rim. Giannis is not without his flaws, however. Giannis is a poor outside scorer and a spotty passer at times. This limits Giannis' ability to space the floor. Giannis' true value comes from his ability to finish at the rim, grab rebounds, and his defense. Giannis is an elite rebounder at 12.5 rebounds this season and is in contention for Defensive Player of the Year. He was a defensive anchor for Milwaukee this season. Giannis missed 10 games this year, so his health was decent, and during the playoffs he averaged 25.5 points, 12.3 rebounds, 4.9 steals, and 2 blocks a game. The playoffs showed how Giannis' poor shooting affects his team, but he was still able to provide great games during the playoffs and lost to the eventual champions, the Toronto Raptors, during the Eastern Conference Finals. Giannis scales anywhere from 4 to 1, similar to Kawhi. Giannis' outworldly physical gifts and pure talent allow him to be in contention for number 1. Finally, at number 1, I have Steph Curry. I know it looks bad to make 2 videos back to back about Curry being basically underrated, looks bad on my part, but he's really severely disrespected by the media and fans of the NBA. Curry averaged 27.3 points, 5.3 rebounds, 5.2 assists, and 1.3 steals this season. Curry missed 13 games this season, which makes his health okay but not great, and Curry is the greatest shooter to ever play in the NBA, and not to mention on crazy good efficiency. Curry's gravity alone creates floor spacing like no other, and he is an underrated passer. He is also a great rebounder for a point guard, and on defense he is smart enough to switch early and can hold on his own against guards smaller or around his size. Curry is not a great defender because he can be bullied down low and occasionally loses concentration while playing defense. His on-ball defense is about average and is therefore constantly picked on by other teams. And during the playoffs, this year, Curry averaged 28.2 points, 6 rebounds, 5.7 assists, and 1.1 steals per game. His efficiency took a hit due to a slow start in the playoffs, but managed to get back on track in time for the Western Conference semifinals. I know people will think I'm crazy for considering Curry as the best player in the NBA, but think about it. Who else can be put into any offensive system and be as valuable as Curry? No one. Curry is the best player in the NBA because of his offensive versatility and his insane gravity. I have Curry scaling 2-1. There's an argument about the pure talents of Giannis or Kawhi's amazing talents to bump down Curry one spot, but I don't think Curry could fall any lower than 2. Those are my top 10 players for the NBA 2019 season. I know there'll be a lot of controversy, but going off the metrics I thought were most important, I think my list is fairly accurate. Thanks to Thinking Basketball for the scaling idea to show the leeway between arguments. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.